Eat it. Oxygen. While we
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Grit Files. I'm Loralyn Mears, and on the show today we have got Janelle Ditto. She is one of the, well, just in the conversations we've been having, one of the most fun interior designers that you're ever going to get to meet. And her company called Blush Designs has this lovely aesthetic, cool geometrics, pretty colors blended with like dark charcoals and things. So she's already got me excited when I went to our website. We're like, oh, my shameful, like plain background. And then hers is perfectly stylized. So we're going to hear a little bit about her journey of entrepreneurism. Maybe she'll even throw in a tip or two on interior design, and we're going to have some fun with the show. Hey, Janelle, welcome.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. It's so good to be here today.
Well, you're going to have to tell our audience and just get us started. So how did all of this begin for you? Like you were in a friend's house, a parent's house, and you were like, oh my God, you have like, well, taste in your butthole, right? And we're going to fix that. Like, how did it start? Talk to us about your business and a little bit about the industry, about interior design. So we kind of get grounded in what you do.
Sure, no problem. So when I was younger, obviously, I used to be the kid in my room that was always redesigning my room, moving things around, changing the colors, always wanting to do different things, but I really didn't make anything of it. I moved out of my hometown of Atoka, Tennessee, when I was just barely out of high school and moved out to California. And I really wanted to, come out here and just, I don't know, make something of myself, right? Do Hollywood, do all the things that we think we're going to do. But I actually ended up crawling myself up the corporate ladder in medical sales. And I would say about halfway through my career, after I had felt like I had become successful, I had just had two of my babies in my early 30s, and I was sitting around my house, and I was like, I am so disappointed in my house. Like, I didn't want anyone to come over. I didn't want, I was embarrassed. And so I just kind of right then and there started making changes in my house and started remodeling and finally feeling the energy after having two babies. And then I went back to school, and I told my husband at the time that I was over it and I just wanted to do something fun and creative. And that's what I did. I went back to school, got my interior design degree, and started Blush Interiors about 6 years ago, and here I am.
Wow, that's fantastic. I mean, this is what it takes, right? It's that light bulb moment. And I can almost imagine you sitting there, two little babies, one probably crying because that's what they do when they're little. Right. And you looking around going, I can't take the toys, the mess, the diapers, the bottles. I need to just clean it all up. So dig into that light bulb moment a little bit more for us, because you were also surfacing some shame there that, I don't want to have people over. I don't want people to judge. Yeah. So many people that I've talked to have different levels of shame or not understanding. And they're afraid, like, I wouldn't want to have an interior designer come over. She's going to be all judgy. Talk about some of those feelings, because you had it from both sides.
Yeah, it's funny that you say that, because I do get people when I go to their house, they're like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, but my house is a mess, or this and that. And I'm like, honestly, if you if you knew me and who I was 6 years ago, you would, you wouldn't be embarrassed at all. So don't even worry about that. I always try to make people feel comfortable, because we're all human. I'm not perfect. I mean, my background looks good right now, but
it does. It's fabulous for anybody that's just listening.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Well,
no, but I would say, definitely felt the shame. And I get why people feel that way, because, you're so enthralled with what's going on. You're your body's changing, you're going through all these hormones after having babies, and it's just, you take care of yourself last, right? It's like you're taking care of everybody else, but then it's like you finally see, like, oh, this is really important to me and I want to make a change. And so for me, that was kind of my turning point. So
Oh yeah, and it's classic, right? The cobbler's children has no shoes, right? Because that's how it works, right? You're like
Right.
helping everybody else so they get this beautiful design aesthetic. And as I say, just to paint a visual picture for our listeners who don't
Right.
have the visual advantage,
Mhm.
Janelle's got this lovely white shelf, different sized quadrants within the shelf, and it's even open ended. So, like, that just makes
Yeah.
it extra fabulous. And everything's all white and black and matchy and corresponding
Yeah.
without being overdone. It's
Mhm.
fabulous. And I've
Mhm.
got a blue background, a blue screen. So, there you go.
It matches your skin tone. It's great.
Well, there we go, right? So there's something in that, like in my skin tone being hot blush pink right now, like your interiors, because it's
Yeah.
100 degrees outside and the air conditioner can do but so much. Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
So
Yeah, but I do all feel like that we need a catalyst. And usually that's when I talk to people, I'm like, why are you deciding to do this project now after all this time? And there is usually a catalyst that brings people to this point. So for me, it was that. And so,
exactly. We all have one. And then on that journey now, like I said, you've been at it with Blush Interiors for 6 years. And
mhm.
everybody that I talk to, at some point they have an uh-oh moment. Can
Yeah.
you share one of your like, uh-oh, oh crap, moments that you've had in this 6 year journey so far?
Yeah. So, I mean, being a creative person, and yes, I did have some experience in the medical industry and doing, business and sales, but I would say a lot of people in this industry and some other industries, hairstylists, artists, artisans, we have a creative mind. So I think that making that change from trying to stay creative and then also run a business at the same time and bringing in sales, like it's a really hard thing to juggle. And I think when people get into this business, they don't realize all the intricacies that there is behind the scenes in order to actually become successful. So that's definitely something that I've had some experience with. I would say my biggest was I had made a big choice to stock a showroom and try something new. And I wanted to have furniture and decor and then have people be able to come in and shop around. And I literally opened 1 week before COVID and then everything shut down. So that was my biggest moment. And I pretty much lost all of that and everything. So, I mean, that was definitely an But
Definitely.
here I
And
am. I'm still kicking it. I'm still
that's right.
kicking.
And
I'm still
and
going.
oh no. But that's just it. So nice
Mhm.
segue for my next question. So on your darkest days, what keeps you going?
I have always been a dreamer, really. I mean, almost to a fault. And I've always wanted this brand to be something more than just an interior designer. Like, I don't like saying I'm just an interior designer. I want to build a brand. I want to build a furniture line. I want to build a system where I can help other creative people really become successful and not have to make all the mistakes that I made. And that's something that I definitely want my journey to lead into. And I feel like I am trying to steer it that way. So I don't know. It's almost to a point where it's like, should I really keep dreaming and doing this and fighting? But I've just always had this little gut inside of me that's just been a fighter. So I think that whatever that little person is inside of me, it just keeps going.
Well, keep fighting. And we're going to switch to like some positive ideas, but we're going to have like one more thing. And we're just going to like dig it out, knock it out of the way. All right.
Okay.
Here's your undo button.
Okay.
You got to hit it once and undo one thing in your life, personally or professionally. What do you change?
Oh my gosh, this one's a tough one. There's so many things.
Well, we've just one. What one comes into your head first?
I'm so afraid of that question. And let me tell you why, because there's a lot of mistakes that I've made growing up that have made me stronger and have definitely set me back a lot, but has really made me who I am today. And I would say, oh, maybe it was my ex-husband, but then I got two beautiful kids out of it. So I can't, I don't know if I would really change too much. I really don't. I really can't pinpoint one thing that I would change that I know wouldn't change my future or my present and my future. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely it does. In fact, that's the answer we most frequently get.
Oh, really? Oh, great.
Well, so, there you, and it wouldn't be like, there is no right or wrong. It's how you feel, right? And again, it's whatever you're comfortable sharing. But this is what our listeners want to tap into, that a lot of people subscribe to the philosophy, everything happens for a reason, right? And so it just makes you who you are, right? And
it does.
All right. Magical stuff now. I've just given you a magic wand.
Okay.
And you get to wave it and say, this person right now should be listening. Who would be listening to this podcast? You're waving your wand.
Man, these are really great questions.
Thank you. It's supposed to be fun too, not challenging.
I know, this is great. I've never had a podcast like this before. This is amazing. Who should be listening? I would say people that really have a dream, and you don't have to have a lot of money to start something amazing. And that's one thing that I have noticed when I've been working with other artisans and women entrepreneurs, and just learning how other women and people have started their business, is a lot of people have come from nothing that have been successful. So I would say the people out there that have a dream and maybe they don't see an opportunity just now, but if they just keep building and taking one step towards that goal and that dream, then I would say maybe them, like it just takes one more step forward out of that comfort bubble that you just got to keep stepping and stepping and stepping. And even if you're not getting anywhere, eventually you will. So is that
I love that. Answer? That's really inspirational. And that's people need, like, that's the philosophy I hold on to. I am one person away from the person that I need to meet to move my business and my dream forward. Right. So
I love that.
Every day I keep asking, right? Hello, are you the person? Maybe, maybe not. And if you're not, well, let's have a lovely conversation and then move on, right?
I love that.
Give each other something and it's all good, right? No, nothing lost.
Right, exactly. Nothing lost. That's for sure. There is a loss if you don't keep trying, right? And you don't keep making that step forward. Absolutely.
And bingo. And maybe, is that the message that you'd want to share with other founders? Or do you have something else that they just like, hey, other founders, other entrepreneurs, I want you to hear this. What do you want them to hear?
The one thing that I do tell people is, in this business is, a lot of people will give you advice and tell you this and that, or maybe try this or try this. I would say, really, before you start anything, figure out what it is your vision is and understand who you are and what you're looking for, and stay true to yourself and stay true to what that vision is. Because the more you try to, steer yourself towards what other people want, you just end up becoming lost again and not on the right path. So I would say, absolutely trying to stay true to who you are and your vision.
Talk to us a little bit about how you have changed, Janelle, on your journey. You're 6 years into Blush and Terriers. How have you changed?
I would say I've definitely become stronger and more grounded. Like I said, I've always been a dreamer my whole life, and sometimes my dreams can just fly away from me, but it's about finding that vision, like I was saying before, and really just honing in on that and trying to ground yourself and to surround yourself with people that are like-minded and that are going to help you achieve your goals, and not let other people's opinions and negative vibes impact who you are, and just keep being you and just keep trucking.
Got you. Especially, like, I know out there in the Twitterverse, oh my goodness, the trolls. I sit there and go, do you not have anything better to do?
No, I know.
Just pour negativity and acid on everybody.
I get that. I get that a lot. And I don't understand why. It just seems like such a waste of your life to be sitting there doing that. And I don't know. I kind of feel bad for them,
Yeah.
Yeah. So
There's more to life than that.
it is. There is so much more.
What takes you out at your knees, right? What's your kryptonite?
I would say just negative people. just people, uninspired people that don't have anything, going for them or no motivation, but they're really good at bashing down your dreams and your visions and your goals. And, that I have let that affect me in my past so much that at some point in time, you just have to have that turning point where you're like, I'm not going to listen to these people anymore. I'm not going to keep going down this path and trying to explain myself, because it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, they're never going to understand. They're never going to believe in me. So just wash your hands, So I would say, just, I guess my kryptonite would be, getting rid of, just staying away from people like that. There you go.
And that's just it, right? Like, namaste. If it no
Yes.
longer serves you,
I love that.
release
Yes, I've heard
it.
that. Namaste. Goodbye.
Find peace and like, yeah. No, I'm all about that.
Yeah.
Now let's turn the tables around. How can
All right.
our audience help you? What can we do for you?
Oh, well, always love just good words of encouragement. I mean, everybody needs encouragement, right? And we just want to know that we're on this planet and we're doing something right and we're doing something good. So words of encouragement, just spreading joy and being nice and, referring me to friends and, thinking about me for your next project or following me and my story. And I think that's plenty, just be nice and spread joy.
Well, let's drive our listeners to you. How do they find you?
So my website is blushinteriordesigns.com, and you can also find me on Facebook and Instagram and Pinterest and all of the fun social medias out there. And the hashtag or I guess the name would be Blush Interior Designs. So everything's pretty easy to find me.
Okay, we can do that. Now, of course, like no pressure here, but again, with that lovely backdrop, can you give our listeners that have hung on this long in the show a tip or two for interior design? What can you tell them? Something, this is trending, or don't do this. This is so like 1970, make it go away.
Yeah.
Do you want to share anything?
Sure. I mean, what I tell literally 95% of my clients from the very get-go is just to clean up, get rid of all of the things that no longer serve you. And let's just get rid of those things. There's a lot of things that people are like, oh, I'm holding on to this for a memory. And I love that. And we can absolutely keep that. But do you need every 100 pieces of those memories? Or is there something that we can, I don't know, maybe put them away so that we keep one or two of those memories out? But I feel like there's so much clutter, and it's amazing how interior design impacts emotion. And for me, whenever you can release a lot of the things that are no longer serving you and that are negative, or just not necessarily negative, but just making you feel a certain type of way, stress, if you're around a bunch of clutter, that's stressful. So I would say, definitely number one, cleaning up, and then just finding balance in your house. Like that's one thing that when I design it's really about finding balances, balancing color. I don't have a lot going on back here, just other than black and white. And I just find a balance of like, when I look at something, I want to see like a balance of black and white, or, you don't have to necessarily put color in there if you're afraid of color, but, really just finding, balance. And then I would say the last thing that is like so important that I feel like people don't understand is really understanding what scale is, and just scaling furniture and pictures and rugs and all of your decor items, like, take a look at a blog. I think I have a blog on it actually on my website under freebies, but there is some tips and tricks on how to make sure you have the right scaled furniture and decor for your house.
Ooh, those are helpful. Because like when you talk about clutter, I'm sitting here and I'm doing a flash, like the hubby's high school trophies.
High school trophies. That's awesome.
In my podcasting space. It's just like, and he complains it's in the basement. I'm like, oh my God, they should be like in the attic. But that's a whole other story. So I'm not going to derail that. Last question. We're going to bring it home. This is my signature question, and this is the most fun, I think. We are now heading into your closet. And you are going to tell us about the pair of shoes, boots, stilettos, flip-flops, whatever pair of footwear that best represents who you are and why, just like Dorothy, right, had the little red shoes, right? Like all sparkly, like, I want to go home, right? Tell us about that pair of footwear in your closet right now and why all that style and those shoes, whatever they are, represent who you are.
Well, I will have to say, I mean, does every girl say this? But a pair of Christian Louis Vuittons. I absolutely love those red bottom shoes. I came from nothing. And so, one of the main things that I'm not really a big purse person or jewelry person. I don't wear a whole lot, but with shoes, I don't know what it is. Like, I just really, that's my thing. And so I wear a lot of black. You can't tell that now, but I do love black. And there's just something classy and beautiful about having a black, that red bottom shoe with those beautiful black classic, high heels. So I would say probably that. Definitely that, actually. And then can I pick one more?
You can. This is your show. You got to do it the way you want.
So being in San Diego, now that I'm here, and I was in Orange County before. And so you wear a lot more high heels in Orange County and LA, but in San Diego, everyone just wears flat shoes and sandals and flip-flops. So I really love getting a good pair of tennis shoes. And so I love my Golden Goose tennis shoes, and I love so they're like tennis shoes, but they have like this really cool pop of like something interesting and fun and trendy. So I love those too. So I'd have to say for comfort wise, I definitely like my Golden Goose shoes. And for beauty wise, and really to tell like what kind of a designer I am, I would have to say my Christian Louis Vuittons.
Well, there you go. We heard it here from you first. Janelle Ditto, founder of Blush Interior Design. So thank you so much for being on our show today and sharing some of the things that you've experienced on your journey of bringing interior design into the homes of so many of your clients. Thanks so much. I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your summer and continued success, alternating between your Louis Vuittons and your flip-flops and say sneakers.
That's right. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. It's been lovely talking to you.
Thanks, Janelle.
And how about that fantastic intro by Touch Circle?